Hey there, welcome back. And I wanted to apologize. This is probably my fourth time shooting this, not because of anything wrong with the content necessarily, but because I played around with the camera settings and then only set it up for 60 seconds of timer, 60-second sort of recording time. And all of a sudden I looked and it wasn't recording, so I had to reshoot it. So my apologies. And my dog just walked in. Hello, Luna. What's going on, Mama? She's a big pit bull. Comes in like she owns the place, which, you know, she kind of does. Anyway, so I apologize that I haven't been shooting anything lately, but here we are. Today, I'm gonna make some roast chicken and make some nice salad next to it. Watch the salads episode. Their, basic recipe for salad vinaigrette is out there. On the salad, I typically like to do, some nice spinach, mixed greens, something a little bit fancier. Throw in a little bit of cheese, maybe some goat cheese, maybe some feta cheese, maybe some blue cheese if you're, adventurous. I like to throw in some toasted nuts and then a basic vinaigrette. Toss it up, serve it. Got the chicken next to it. It's going to be a grand, and very, very simple weeknight meal. So, my friends, my motorcycling friends asked me, why haven't you done any content lately? Well, because I've been busy. But give me some feedback. What would you like to hear? Some great weeknight, easy weeknight meals. So, here's weeknight meal number one. Roast chicken and salad. And yes, that may not be a lot to fill your stomach, but it's a lot of good protein. It's a lot of healthy protein. Salads, just great. Greens, we all need greens. I am going to make a few more episodes sort of around maybe cooking some vegetables and making some sauces that go with the vegetables and so on. Some good pairings there, so stay tuned for that. But today we're going to focus on roast chicken. And the way I like to do roast chicken is I dry rub it, salt, pepper, whatever dry rub you have that goes well, and you throw it in the oven at 375. Now, the traditional way of preparing the chicken for roasting, the French way, is to stuff it, truss it, like that, and throw it in the oven. Now, the problem with that is, sometimes, is that when you're sort of compacting it like that, it's nice because it kind of keeps all the juices there, and it keeps the heat there as much as possible, but what happens is the outside will cook faster than the inside. So then you're gonna have to leave it in the oven longer for the inside to really cook to 160, but then you run the risk of maybe the outside drying out. Maybe. A couple of ways to combat that. One is, the method I'm gonna use today and show you is spatchcocking it. Spatchcocking is awesome. All it is you take the chicken, you cut the backbone out, pull it out, and you go bloop, and you flatten it. That makes it cook extremely evenly, and it will cook faster. So at 375, I don't know, my wife always asks me, well, how long is it gonna take in the oven? I don't know, until it's done, until it measures 160. You put a thermometer, the thickest piece of the chicken, so throw it in the breast and in the thighs. It needs to measure at least 160. Or if you're talking to my French culinary instructors, they will say until the juices run clear. Even when the juices run clear, in my experience that I found, sometimes there's a little bit of pink around the bone. That's okay. It's not raw, it's fine. If the juices are running clear and there's no pink in the meat, you're good to go. But to be safe, 160, 165, take it out, let it rest for a few minutes, let the juices kind of congeal back into the meat, and then you carve it out. So there's an episode around breaking down the chicken, and I do it raw, but same concept when it's cooked. So you can take the legs off, you can cut off the drumstick from the thigh if you want, you can take the wings off, you can cut the breast off, you can do whatever you want. Right? This is family meal style. You can serve it spatchcocked. I recommend, if it is family, cut it up into the pieces that you would normally serve, so that it's easier for your family just to kind of pick it up and put it on their plate. Okay. Spatchcocking. Did you notice that there is that word, the second half of that word is cock, and this bird is a cock? I don't know who came up with that, but it's genius. Genius! Okay, step number one. I did this in a previous version of the taping when, you know, didn't crap out on me in 60 seconds, is to take out the wishbone. Now, the wishbone is this triangular, without the bottom part of the triangle, so kind of a V. It's a piece of bone that's holding sort of the two sides of the chicken together, right? Right underneath the thickest part of the breasts. And you can't see it because I took it out. But what it is, it's gonna look something like, and this has got all kinds of meat on it, but just imagine that this is one end, and this is the other end, and it's basically sitting like this, right? Underneath, like right in here, right there. It's holding the two breasts together. So it's in the section of the breasts that's away from the thighs, okay? So take a little paring knife and just kind of, it's a little artisanal little exercise, and you can cut it off the breast meat and take it out. Then the second part of this wonderful little spatchcocking exercise is to flip it over. You get the hard breast, the hard sort of backbone. You take a sharp, and they sharpened, and unfortunately my knives are not as sharp as they should be. And I made fun of my buddy in London for not having sharp knives, yet here I am with not so sharp knives. And you just go to town. So you can kind of, on the two sides of the spine, right? Spine, on the two sides of the spine, just dig in, right? Go down, don't be afraid. You can do it. You can also use kitchen shears if you want, right? But I like to use a knife because I kind of like to use a knife. And my hands are not as, unfortunately, probably dry, but, yep. So we just kind of cut it through, right? See how that comes up? See that? That's the spine. And cut it off. Very simple, right? So I'm gonna set this guy aside. And then what you do, cut the backbone off, flip it, and because you took the wishbone out, it kind of spatchcocks itself. You like that? Woo-hoo! Okay, so there's some extra skin that I want to trim off because it's not sightly. Let's see. This is a good piece of chicken. I instructed my lovely wife to get air-chilled chicken. So whenever you're at the grocery store, please try and get organic, try and get air-chilled if possible. Air-chilling, I found that air-chilled chicken works best for roasting. Don't ask me why, what the science is behind that, but I think it will result in nice crispy skin, and it will result in very juicy chicken without it drying out. I don't know the science behind it, but it works, okay? So I am right now just kind of trimming some extra, look at all this fat. Do you see this? You see this? That's a lot of fat that we don't need. So we're just gonna kind of trim that off. Don't need this extra. And watch your hands. Watch your hands. The knife is sharp, and it needs to be sharp so you don't hurt yourself when you're trying to do this maneuver. So just imagine what I was doing there. If this was a blunt knife and I'm trying to cut through the skin, I would have to add a lot of pressure, right, to cut through it. By adding pressure, what happens is you run the risk of the knife slipping and hurting you, especially when you're trying to hold a piece of skin, and I don't know if you can see this, but you hold a piece of skin and kind of trying to slice through. Make sure your knives are sharp so that you de-risk hurting yourself. And it's counterintuitive that a sharp knife is safer in the kitchen, but it is 100% true. A dull knife will require more force. More force is prone to the knife slipping and you making a mistake, and there goes your hand. And there goes the emergency room bill. And God forbid we have any emergency room bills. We want to stay safe in the kitchen, and we want to enjoy the art of cooking. Okay, so that's it. We spatchcocked this bad boy. This son bitch, as my friend Carrie likes it. She loved it when I said that. Son bitch! So here we are. We're kind of ready. So I'm going to wash my hands, and I've got a dry rub that's basically a mixture of, I don't know, there's salt, there's pepper, there's probably some garlic and onion powder in it, there's some herbs, maybe some oregano, what have you. It's already pre-mixed, but just toss it liberally with at least salt and pepper. If you've got dry herbs, throw it on. Remember, up here, right? And sprinkle, right? Get a decent coating. Don't put too much salt, so otherwise it'll taste salty. Just be measured with your salt. Use kosher salt. And then what I like to do is put it on the plate and throw it in the fridge. And I throw it in the fridge uncovered. So right now it's 2 o'clock. We're probably going to eat about 7. So I'm probably going to take it out about 6. So that's 4 hours in the fridge uncovered. Why uncovered, Kareem? That makes no freaking sense. You know what? It does. So why? What does salt do to any kind of food? It dehydrates. It actually does 2 or 3 things. And we talked about this in one of the episodes. 1, it dehydrates the food. So in this case, it's going to dehydrate the skin a little bit and crisp it up. The airflow in the fridge, when it's left uncovered, is this nice, cool sort of breeze, if you may, or nice, cool temperature that will help the dehydration process a little bit, and it will help crisp the skin up. So just try it. It's not unsafe because, again, remember, you're cooking the chicken at 160 or until 160 at 375, but you're cooking it until it hits 160 in the thickest part. And again, run it through the breast, run it through the thick part of the thigh, just to measure it. Make sure everything's at least 160. Don't go too much. If you hit 180, 190, no bueno, okay? No bueno. That's what my mom does, and I keep telling her, it's too much, it's dry. She's like, oh, it's not dry. Yeah, it's dry. My mom loves to over dry everything. But anyway, so 160. And the cool air with the salt helps it dehydrate the skin. Also, what happens with salt is that it flavor. It 2 more advantages, or 2 more benefits. It flavors, right? It brings out the flavor of the meat and the skin, and you kind of want the skin. Please do not take the skin off the chicken when you're roasting it. You're doing yourself a disservice because a lot of the flavor is in the skin, and it seeps into the meat, and it's lovely and wonderful. So don't do that. Do not take the skin off. If you want to take it off when you're eating it, fine, but do not take it off when you're cooking it, okay? No boneless, skinless chicken crap on this channel. The only time we do that is schnitzel, and watch schnitzel up, so it's kind of funny. Okay, third advantage is that it tenderizes the meat as well. So not only does it crisps the chicken, the skin, it tenderizes it a little bit, it's gonna seep through. Now if I kind of pull the skin back and throw some salt in there, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to kind of rip the skin off the skin, rip the skin off the meat. But yeah, so on the skin, put it on a plate, in the fridge it goes, just like that, uncovered. 2, 3, 4 hours. If you want to do it overnight, that's fine. It's not going to hurt it. Take it out about an hour before you want to roast it. Let it sit at room temperature. Get it to room temperature before you throw it in the oven. Okay? You don't ever want to throw cold meat into a hot cooking space. It doesn't do well. So get it to room temperature and then do it. Luna, quiet. This is my food. Hey, stop. We have a neighbor dog next door, and they're not friends. So this happens every time. Okay, so this is a mix of salt, garlic, sage, thyme, rosemary, oregano, Do your own mix. It doesn't matter. I like to salt both sides, sort of the skin side and the under, sort of under the chicken. And this is about all I do, really, right? You don't want to do too much. You don't want to salt too much. And make sure your hand is up high so you get like a nice sort of even spread of the salt. And that's it. That's all we do. Okay? Onto the plate it goes, and into the fridge it goes. And if you don't believe me when I say I'm gonna put it in just like that uncovered, I'm taking it to the fridge right. And that's it. We might come back and show you roasting, or at least the end results. But when we're roasting it, all we're doing is putting it in the oven at 375. You can go 325, you can go 350, play with it, see what you like. I like 375 because by the time the meat gets to 160, the skin is really nice and crispy, right? So I like 375. Roast, not bake. What's the difference between roast and bake? Bake is even cooking all around, top and bottom heating elements in the oven. Roast is both heating elements in the oven, but a little bit more top than bottom. So that's gonna help with the sort of browning and crisping of the skin. I put it in the middle rack in the oven, 375. Don't ask me how long until it hits 160. I don't know, measure it after 30 minutes and see where you are. But I can't give you a perfect time because I don't know, man. It depends on the chicken, depends on how big the chicken is, depends on what they ate. I don't know. It's a lot of different variables. 30 minutes, check it. Keep checking it until it hits 160. Juices need to run clear. 160. Okay? What I might end up doing is just shooting the chicken when it's done and show you what it looks like. And hopefully we will have a nice meal. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll come back and show you what the chicken looks like. Just remember, my favorite word of the day is spatchcocking. Spatchcocking! Okay, we are back. So we have roasted the chicken, 375 for, to be honest, I don't know how long, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. The breast registers 160. The thighs register about 180, which is gonna be a little bit normal because they will cook, the thighs will cook faster than the breasts. By the time the breast hits 160, the thighs will be a little bit more than that, so 180. It's okay because dark meat has more collagen in it and will retain a lot of the moisture much better than the breast will. But if you see, if I'm touching this, it's nice and crispy, and that's because we left it in the fridge uncovered, salted for about 4 hours before we threw it in the oven at 375. So it's going to be lovely. This is a very easy weeknight meal. So I took the chicken out the night before, defrosted it overnight, and then basically you saw that part of the episode, the video where we spatchcocked it and salted it, prepped it, put it in the fridge. Took it out about 30 minutes before we started roasting it in the oven. Roasted 375, 30, 45, probably about 45 minutes. If you can go a little bit lower than 160 on the breasts, great, maybe 155. If the juices run clear, you're good. Take it out, let it rest for a good 10, 15 minutes before you start cutting it up and serving it. I've got a nice bowl of salad here. We've got some spinach and arugula. I threw in some blue cheese because I love blue cheese. And if you don't like blue cheese, you should try blue cheese. It's really fantastic. And I have some walnuts that I threw in the toaster oven and toasted them. And then just chop them up, ground them up. So that's what you've got here. I've got a red wine vinaigrette dressing that I made. Watch the salad dressing episode. It's really easy. It's really olive oil, salt, pepper, red wine vinegar, a little bit of Dijon mustard, a little bit of honey to balance it all out. And I use a 1-to-1 ratio oil to vinegar. Everything else is kind of up to your taste. So that's easy. So what I'm gonna do, so this is gonna be the weeknight meal. So very simple. I'm just gonna dress this just a little bit, not a lot. Underdress before you overdress, and then toss it. right? Yeah. Oh my God, the salad's flying. Oh no. And my dog's gonna try and eat it, but she's gonna taste it and go, nope, that's not what I want. I want the damn chicken. All right, so now let's plate. So easy weeknight meal. I'm just gonna put the salads right in the middle here. All right, and now when you're plating, a really important point when you're plating, we typically, because a lot of us have kids and whatnot, I don't personally, but I know a lot of you do, you tend to sort of put your protein, your starch, and your veggies kind of separated into this compartmented plate. But that's not what we're gonna do sort of in the culinary world, right? What we wanna do is we don't wanna go horizontal, we wanna go vertical, okay? So anything that you do in terms of plating should really be sort of stacked and vertical in the most appropriate way. So in this case, we really only have salad and chicken. So you're not gonna put the salad on top of the chicken. That's gonna look weird, it's gonna fall off. So we're gonna put the salad on the bottom and the chicken on top. So I'm gonna take my handy chef's knife and I'm just gonna take this piece off and it's just gonna come right off. And look at that, it's beautiful. There's no pink in the middle. I don't know if you can see this. There's no pink in the middle. It's just lovely and it's very, very juicy. And I'm just gonna lay it sort of right on top here, and that's it. Wipe my fingers. And this is our plate. All right, you got some chicken, you got some salad, and it's an easy weeknight meal. And hope the wife enjoys this, and we will report back. I know the dog will enjoy it if I give her some of the chicken, but I'm not gonna give her any chicken. Although, she's been a good dog. A little barky at the neighbor dog, but we'll see. Maybe I'll give her a little bit. All right, till next time. Ciao.